Zoila Frausto's stunning first-round demolition of world #1 ranked Rosie Sexton at Bellator 23 propelled her into this season's women's tournament. Up next, the Warrior Princess begins her road to the championship as she faces undefeated Jessica Penne for a spot in the semifinals.
Through Bellator's partnership with Madison Square Garden, we are at the 89-year-old Chicago Theater in Chicago, Illinois tonight for Bellator 25. Last week, we were in Hollywood, Florida, and opened Bellator's women's 115-pound tournament with the first two quarterfinals.
Now, Carla Esparza against Megumi Fujii. Carla did a good job in the first round, turned it into a kickboxing match. She came out, she wasn't intimidated, but in that second round, the ground dominance of Fujii showed through. Beautiful armbar, she got the second round submission. Lynn Alvarez versus Jessica Aguilar. Jessica, the grappler versus the striker, and once she got on top, she never looked back. Got the arm triangle, 4 minutes of the first round. She got the fight where she wanted it and kept it there. She sent a big message to the rest of the division. Great win.
Megumi Fujii and Jessica Aguilar are both through to the semifinal round of Bellator's first ever women's tournament. We begin Bellator 25 tonight with our third quarterfinal round bout, Jessica Penne versus Zoila Frausto.
You know, Zoila coming in with a lot of hype off that knockout over Rosie Sexton, but Jessica Penne flying under the radar, but she's #5 and undefeated. She's a great fighter.
We now send it inside the Bellator cage to Michael Williams.
And now the first fighter set and ready to make her way to the cage, fighting out of the red corner, Jessica Penne.
5 years ago, Jessica Penne had no combat sports or martial arts experience. Tonight, she enters this bout as an undefeated fighter in pro MMA.
I've prepared for this fight the best that I can, and I'm not going to feel out of my element. I feel that my strongest attribute inside the cage is my composure. In any situation, I feel comfortable and I feel prepared. I take each fight as it comes. Right now, I'm not focused on the championship. I'm focused on my fight with Zoila.
Jessica Penne says that she is neither the strongest nor the fastest in women's MMA, but feels that she is a very intelligent fighter.
And now her opponent, ready to make her way to the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, the Warrior Princess, Zoila Frausto.
Zoila Frausto had a dream debut in Bellator when she knocked out Rosie Sexton on June 24th in what stands as one of the top finishes in mixed martial arts this year.
I was a star athlete as soon as I was able to walk. It's good to have a passion about anything you do in life. We were all together, we were a good family, we did everything for each other, and out of nowhere they got a divorce. It kind of threw me off, and I thought everything was perfect. I thought I was doing everything perfect for them, and then as soon as that happened, I just I started to do bad things. You know, I got kicked off a lot of the athletic teams that I was on. What I was doing with my life wasn't what I needed to. I went to a local gym. I saw a boxing class going on, and I was like, you know, I've always wanted to do that. As soon as I put those gloves on, it was just like love. You know, I was just like, wow, like this is fun. And it just went from there.
Introducing Zoila Frausto.
I knew I was coming to this fight as an underdog, and it was like I had nothing to lose, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and do what I do best. In order to finish that fight and to put her away, I knew I needed to finish her, and I had to make sure of it.
Oh, here it's new! Sexton is in trouble, and she is out cold!
Knockout shot. Rosie Sexton did not know what hit her.
Since day one, you know, I've been shooting for the stars, and I finally took one of those stars out. I kind of went the wrong way, and it took a little detour, but life's better now, you know? You have passion for something, and you have drive for something, and I've never taken my eyes off of that #1, and I'm going for it.
Zoila Frausto weighed 120 pounds for her win versus Rosie Sexton. Tonight she weighs 115 pounds, the lightest of her career, and a full 30 pounds below her walk-around weight. Jimmy, let's take a look at your inner circle.
Well, expect Frausto to come out blazing. She's coming off a huge KO. She says she's hooked on that feeling and wants it again. Penne wants a strategic fight. She's undefeated and very technical. She has to overcome Zoila's physical advantages. Big question, how will the weight cut affect Frausto? It's her first time making 115, and it was not an easy cut. Will it affect her performance late in the fight?
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator Fighting Championships, through its partnership with Madison Square Garden, tonight presents Bellator 25 from the historic Chicago Theater. Brought to you by Everlast and UB.net. We are now set for the third quarterfinal round fight in the women's 115-pound World Championship Tournament, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. And now introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. She wears the black at 5'5". She weighed in at 114 pounds. The Muay Thai fighter and Jiu-Jitsu specialist brings an undefeated professional record of 7-0. She's got 1 victory by knockout, 4 by way of submission. Representing Sub-Fighter MMA and fighting out of Laguna Hills, California, introducing Jessica Penne. And across the cage, her adversary tonight, fighting out of the blue corner. She wears the black trimmed in pink at 5'5". She weighed in at 115 pounds. With a black belt in Taekwondo, the Muay Thai striker brings an impressive professional record of 7 victories, 1 by knockout, 2 by way of submission against a single defeat. Representing Team Buhawi and Team JG MMA, originally from Fresno, California, now fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio, presenting Zoila Warrior Princess Frausto. Inside the Bellator cage, the referee in charge of this contest, Andrew Sheptovsky.
Ladies, bring it in. Ladies, you've been given your instructions in the locker room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves intelligently at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves, come out fighting.
The rules in the quarterfinal round of Bellator Fighting Championships. All fights consist of 3 5-minute rounds, no elbows to the head, and there is no kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent. This, the third women's tournament 115-pound quarterfinal. The bell in round number 1. Jessica Penne in the black trunks, Zoila Frausto in the black and pink trunks. Andrew Sheptovsky is the referee.
Zoila angling a lot. That's how she started off against Rosie Sexton. It's a good way to stop the takedown, frustrated grappler. Don't stand in front of him.
Body kick to start by Frausto. Penne telling us in our fighter meeting, once I get to the ground, then I know I'm okay in this fight.
Problem is, you got to get there. It always starts out on the feet.
Frausto definitely
good high kick combination.
Stand and throw her kicks, work for her punches as well.
I'm curious how many kicks she's going to throw. A lot of times when you're facing a grappler, you don't want to go to the ground. You don't throw a lot of kicks.
A kick partially caught by Penne. Looking to take Frausto down.
You see here just the size difference. Frausto looks a lot bigger, a lot stronger than Penne. We'll see how that plays out.
Again, Frausto's walk-around weighed 145 pounds. She played college soccer at Fresno City College in California. That was her playing weight in soccer, so that's a natural weight. And again, this at 115, the lightest of her career.
You know, that has its advantages and disadvantages. She's going to be the bigger, stronger fighter, but as the fight wears on, that weight cut starts to wear on you. And, you know, you remember Rosie Sexton, that dramatic finish. That was the first knockout of her career. 7 victories and only 3 finishes. So it's not like she's known as a finisher all the time.
Penne fishing for the inside trip. Can't find a good wide base by Frausto.
I think it's a good strategy by Penne. Get the clinch, tie her up, drag her into the deep water.
Knee by Penne. There you see the strength of Zoila Frausto, but Penne popping right back up. Knee by Zoila Frausto. Bit of a stalemate. Referee Andrew Sheptovsky taking a close look.
Oh, it's a good way to counter a dynamic striker, though. Keep him against the fence, keep your weight on him, keep it close. Wow, look at the power of Zoila Frausto. Turning Penne around, but Penne, to her credit, staying tight with that clinch.
Both fighters have really good balance.
Excellent. And good positioning with their arms.
Knee again by Frausto. Not the full impact, though. Can you see Penne looking for the inside trip?
Now, this is what I don't think Zoila wants. I think she wants a center of the ring kind of fight where she can use her range and her power. Good right hand. Oh, really committing to that head and arm. That's usually not a good idea. Your opponent can pop out the back. Happens all the time.
Back to the center of the cage. That draws an ovation from our crowd here at the Chicago Theater. Again, Frausto was not originally scheduled to be in Bellator's inaugural women's tournament. Back at Bellator 23, our season 2 closer. That was June 24th. In the industry, Jimmy, it's called a showcase match. It was meant to be a showcase match for Rosie Sexton. Nobody told Zoila Frausto.
So many of our showcase, quote-unquote showcases work out the other way. Nothing's guaranteed in Bellator.
Sexton had to withdraw because of the concussion.
Oh, good left hand.
And that opened a place in this tournament for Zoila Frausto, who's now looking to take full advantage.
I don't know how cleanly that left hook landed, but it seemed to stun Penne, but she did the right thing. She moved forward and closed distance.
No real calls for action from referee Andrew Sheptovsky. Different styles of MMA refereeing. You'll see a lot of third men in the cage say, come on, let's see something, let's see something.
Well, also in the first round, they tend to be a lot more forgiving. As the fight goes on, second and third round, you see a lot more warnings. In the first round, usually you get a lot of slack.
Not a criticism of Andrew Sheptovsky, just an observation.
Wow, look at the strength of Zoila Frausto. Once again, just throwing Penne to the center of the ring.
Head kick there by Frausto, but it was blocked effectively by Penne. Final minute of our opening round. This the third quarterfinal in Bellator's women's 115-pound tournament. Frausto not afraid to throw those head kicks here in the opening round.
Penne staying very tight with her defense. I think she knows she needs to basically ride out this first round. I don't think she's winning this first round. So far it's Zoila Frausto, but she's staying in. She's, like I said, trying to drag Zoila into the deep water, or maybe that weight cut will affect her.
Drive and the push forward by Penne.
Pulling guard, going for a leg lock, but I don't know if there's enough time to make that work.
Frausto coolly out. Dying seconds of round number 1, and we are headed to round number 2. That is a nervous-looking mom, Jimmy. Zoila Grace, the mother of Zoila Frausto. Zoila's younger sister, herself a Bellator women's fighter, Stephanie, also in attendance, sitting just to the left of her mom. There you see Stephanie Frausto. Lost to Lisa Ward in Kansas City at Bellator 22. Still a promising young female fighter.
Now, it must be hell on a mom to have 2 daughters in MMA.
Round number 2. 3 judges scoring cage side for the state of Illinois. Jimmy, you have the unofficial card.
I got to go 10-9 Zoila Frausto. More aggressive, did more damage. It's going to be interesting to see in this second round whether or not Jessica Penne turns it up. She can't have another round like the first one and expect to win a decision.
This is the third quarterfinal of Bellator's inaugural women's tournament, contested at 115 pounds. Jessica Penne, undefeated in her pro MMA career. She's in the black trunks. Zoila Frausto, just 1 loss in her pro MMA career. She's in the black and pink trunks.
Well, that's a problem with turning it up with someone like Zoila Frausto. You move right into one of those jabs or those kicks, maybe your right hand. It's very tough to get aggressive against a powerful striker. And I like the way Zoila's angling. Very hard to set up a takedown against someone who's not standing in front of you, and Zoila's not doing that. She's angling very well.
Both fighters really coming into this bout with the mindset that they were the favorite. Penne, the confidence that comes from being undefeated through her opening 7 fights, and Frausto with the confidence that comes from knocking out arguably one of the top 3 women's fighters in the world, Rosie Sexton.
Well, one thing with Jessica Penne coming in the way she is, it cost Rosie Sexton coming in with her head straight, with no head movement. You can't do that against Zoila Frausto.
Frausto again throwing those kicks above the waistline. More of a rangefinder kick there from Penne. We saw that in the first round. Not landing in the first round, not landing there. Both fighters self-described all-around athletes. Again, the drive forward by Penne.
But she's coming in very high, almost Greco-Roman, not dropping her level and going in for the traditional takedown. She's coming in with her head and her body very high, and problem is you went right into the strength of Zoila Frausto. She has a lot of upper body power.
Penne does hold the rank of purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but we've seen none of her ground skills thus far in this bout. All stand-up, and clearly that favors Zoila Frausto.
No, it certainly does. If you don't have the wrestling to complement your Jiu-Jitsu, it's a very difficult skill to use. You can't use it on your feet. And pulling guard against someone with punching power is never a good idea.
Sneaky little right hand by Zoila Frausto. You see, has Penne backed up against the Bellator cage fence. Nice turn by Penne. Reversing that position, backing up Frausto. Body lock held by Zoila Frausto. Underhook there by Penne. I think Frausto just has too strong of a base, though, to get that.
Yeah, Penne's got to get a little trickier with her takedowns. Has to angle a little bit better, maybe change her levels. Staying here in this clinch with someone as strong as Zoila Frausto, it's going to be very hard for her to work that takedown. Very hard.
Good 1-2 there by Frausto. Get that push kick by Penne, missing the mark. Leg kick by Frausto. We're going to miss with the left hand by Zoila Frausto. Again, the aggression, the drive forward by Jessica Penne. Once again, Jimmy, you see it right there. Penne looking for that inside trip, but she's been nowhere close to getting it.
Well, Zoila has good balance, very strong, and it's that upper body game that's hard to use against a stronger opponent.
Again, going for the inside trip, and beautifully you saw the strength there illustrated of Zoila Frausto. Again, a close look by referee Andrew Sheptovsky, but no call for action from the third man in the ring. Technically the first man in the ring.
The problem is this kind of fight, it's hard to come back with this kind of strategy. Penne up against the fence, trying to take Zoila down, but she's down on my card 1-0 and if she doesn't change things this last 30 seconds, she's going to be down 2 rounds to none.
Final half minute of round number 2. This for a place in the semifinals to join Megumi Fujii and Jessica Aguilar.
Zoila's not buying Penne striking, so she's not buying the takedown. She's not setting it up enough with strikes, so she's kind of bullying forward, and Zoila Frausto her balance and physicality stops that takedown every time.
Takedown by Zoila Frausto, and we are headed to a third and final round.
You know, at the end of that round, inside trip by Zoila Frausto, beautiful job. And once she was on top, just letting go with the right hands, a couple of lefts, and that's going to show Jessica Penne what happens if I pull guard, if I end up on bottom. Just a few seconds, and man, Zoila Frausto went crazy with the strikes.
Third and final round. Again, this for a place in the semifinals of Bellator's inaugural women's tournament, contested at the weight of 115 pounds. Jessica Penne is in the black trunks, Zoila Frausto in the black and pink trunks. Jimmy, how do you have this scored?
2-0, 20-18 for Zoila Frausto. Jessica Penne is really going to have to pick it up. I think she needs to look for a finish in this round. Her coach, Adam Lynn, I don't know what he told her in between rounds, but if I was a coach, I got to go leave it all in the cage this round.
Jimmy, you've talked about this before on Bellator broadcasts, that you believe in being honest with your fighter, and that's not always the case of corners.
No, you know, certain corners think it's better to give a guy confidence at the expense of reality. I do not. I think it's best to let them know exactly where they stand. You know, Angelo Dundee, Sugar Ray Leonard, you're blowing it, and he came back and he won. You know, and a lot of times that's the motivation a fighter needs.
That was after 12 rounds of the first bout of Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hearns. Good body shots there by Frausto.
Man, you just see the strength of Zoila Frausto. Unless you're in deep and really sharp with that takedown, you're just not going to get her down.
Knee by Zoila Frausto, not full impact, however.
She's gonna step back and fire.
Short right to the body by Frausto, not much on that punch. Knee by Penne, not much on that. Very interesting when you watch the two fighters' stances, how they move.
Zoila Zoila angles a lot, never stands in front of Jessica Penne. Jessica Penne has been, unfortunately, moving straight forward, and she's eating a lot of those jabs because of it.
Frausto starting to get off with her left, but misses there. Left to the body by Penne, missed the mark.
Striking with anyone is really hard if you can't get around that jab. It's very difficult, and Frausto's been very accurate, very powerful with it.
Frausto effectively blocking that kick by Penne. Penne a bit more aggressive here in round 3. Knee by Jessica Penne.
Head position, Jessica. Head position. There you go, knee.
Penne working the knees just above the belt line.
You know, a lot of outstanding grapplers in this women's division, 115 pounds, and I think Zoila Frausto is sending a big message to those grapplers that, hey, I'm not going to be easy to take down. It's not going to be easy to get on the mat with me. You're going to have to get around my striking capabilities.
Again, as she's done throughout this fight, Jessica Penne looking for the inside trip and not finding it. Knee to the thigh there with some authority by Zoila Frausto.
Now, it's a very common Muay Thai trick. They love kneeing the inside and outside of the thighs. They can generate a lot of power with their hips. Muay Thai fighters are known for that.
Penne again looking for that trip, just not finding it. Almost trying to fit in for the trip or maybe a hip toss, but Frausto just too powerful in her stance.
And Penne just not dynamic enough with that lift, with that turn on her hips. You really have to commit to get a takedown on someone, especially someone with as good a balance as Zoila Frausto.
Spinning back kick there by Frausto.
And once again, bullying forward, not really moving, not really setting it up. That's a great way to get knocked out.
Again, Penne trying to come forward. Missing badly with that kick.
Now, it's a big difference between, you know, female and male divisions in MMA. There's a lot of wrestlers in men's MMA. I would say the majority of American mixed martial artists have a wrestling background. Female wrestling is comparatively new. You don't have the female wrestling teams. You don't have those great programs like you do for men's wrestling. So it's going to be hard to find a lot of female wrestlers that go in there and have that solid background that can take someone down with a good takedown defense like Zoila Frausto.
We're well into the 15th and final minute of this quarterfinal round bout.
Slow it down, T. Take it down. Take it down, T. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Seems almost certain now, Jimmy, that this will be decided by the 3 state of Illinois judges sitting cage side.
Once again, you see that power of Zoila Frausto. Every time we've seen it against the cage, she throws her down and backs up.
The bell, the end of the fight. When we return, we will get the decision from the 3 Illinois state judges and learn who will be our 3rd Bellator women's semifinalist. The 3rd quarterfinal of Bellator's women's 115 pounds tournament has gone the distance. Jessica Penne versus Zoila Frausto. Jimmy, how do you have this scored?
30-27. I gave every round to Zoila Frausto. No 10-8s. They weren't that dominant, but I think she took every round.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone 3 full rounds here inside the Bellator cage, we'll go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges, Salvatore De Amato, David McIntyre, and Cesar Valdez, all scored about exactly the same at 30-27. All for the winner by unanimous decision, earning her place in the women's 115-pound tournament semi-final round, Zoila Warrior Princess Frausto.
I'm here with your winner, Zoila Frausto. A unanimous decision. You seemed a little disappointed with your performance.
I am. I mean, I was. I mean, I won, but the 15 was a little hard, so I kind of got to get used to doing this. It was my first time, so I was like, my power and my air. But other than that, I won, and that's all that counts right now.
Now, look at the screen over there. Variety of strikes. You in a lot of different positions. Did you find, was it hard to find your range in this fight?
It was a little. I mean, she's a little I mean, she was not, I guess, as strong as me, but her length was kind of throwing me off a little, but I did what I had to, so.
What's your thought on the second round? You know the fields. Anyone you're looking forward to fighting, or is it whoever comes?
Whoever's up next, man. I want that #1 spot, and I'm gunning for it, so here I come.
Congratulations, your winner, Zoila Frausto, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you.
A happy mom and sister of Zoila Frausto. And with that victory, Zoila Frausto advances to the semifinal round of Bellator's women's 115-pound tournament, where she joins Megumi Fujii and Jessica Aguilar in the last 4. Still one place in the semifinals to be filled.